Hi everyone, Joe here from Joe Personal Training, and today is exciting because it's the first in the series of 5 Question Friday. Bing! This is where we answer 5 questions which have come up over the week. Some that have been quite popular, and pretty much give you answers to the questions that you need answers to. That's it. Okay, so let's dive right in. Question number 1 then. I'll be looking down here, guys, so ignore my eyelids. What effect does stress have on your weight loss, if any? Okay, this will be a 2-part answer, I guess. We look at stress in the short-term period and then stress in the long-term period. So if you are stressed over the short-term period, so let's say like a week, for example, it won't really affect your weight loss as a stress-related thing. But if you think about what you do at the end of the week, so say you've had a really tough week, a shitty week, you get in, you're like, oh, this week's been hard, you know, Bill, get the wine. Let's order takeaway. Yeah, that's what happens, okay? So as a whole, stress in itself doesn't affect your weight loss, but the actions you take from being stressed can affect your weight loss. So you're ordering a takeaway, you're having a bottle of wine, you're putting in about 2,000 calories extra into your daily intake. That will affect your weight loss. On a long-term period, over the long-term period, so say months, then yes, stress will affect your weight loss. It offsets your hormone balance, or upsets it rather, or not offsets it, upsets your hormone balance, which will lead to problems losing weight. It's just one of those things. And it can happen as well. So for example, if you move jobs and it's a highly stressful job, and you do that for months and months and months, you get used to that stress, okay? You get, you climatize to that stress level. Doesn't mean that you're not still under stress, you just don't realize it. So yes, if you are struggling to lose weight, the stresses that you're under can affect that and can be a reason why you're not losing weight. Hopefully that answers that question. Question number 2. If you have weight to lose, is it better to do cardio to get the weight off first before doing any weight training? Right. Personally, I wouldn't recommend you do cardio before weight training in order to lose weight before you take up weight training, because there's no need really. If you look at weight training versus cardio training, then you can create the same amount of deficit, calorie deficit with either or, but the type of results you'll get will be hugely or vastly different. So if you just do cardio, for example, to lose weight, then you will end up losing muscle mass, depending on the type of cardio you're doing. If you're doing sprint training and that kind of thing, then no, you will still retain muscle mass. But if you're doing like long hours on the treadmill or on the cross trainer or the stepper, that kind of thing, then you're going to lose muscle mass as well as body fat. If you're doing weight training to lose body fat or weight, then, and you're creating the same kind of calorie deficit as what we just spoke about, then you're going to retain muscle mass if you're doing the correct kind of training and you're pushing yourself. And lose body fat, so you're going to have a body recomposition. So you're gonna look amazing at the end of the day, rather than looking like a running bean. You'll be rocking that bikini rather than having a bikini that slips off you because you got no curves to hold it up. So hopefully that answers that question. And we would never recommend anyone do cardio over weight training for weight loss, especially if you've got a lot of weight to lose. Okay, yes, you can use cardio to create a bigger deficit to assist with your weight loss. But if you're holding a lot of body weight, then you need to pick that type of training, that type of cardio you do quite carefully. You don't want to be doing anything that puts a lot of impact through your joints, especially your knees. So hopefully, yes, that answers that question. Question number 3. I train 5 to 6 days a week. This is the question, by the way. How often, if at all, should I plan a recovery week? Plus, how much rest from training do you need in a week in order to remain most effective? So, the first part of the question then, how often, if at all, should I plan a recovery week? This is very dependent on the type of training you're doing, depending on yourself, how you're feeling, the work you're doing, the sleep amount. There's very many variables that will need to be considered for that. Personally, what we do is we have a deload week, which is pretty much says what it is. You reduce the load you put through on your body over a week. We do that every, 5th week, I think that's when it's programmed in, and that just takes the stress off the body a bit. It takes the foot off the accelerator a little bit, to give your body a bit of time to recover a bit more, rather than taking a week off training, okay? Because everyone knows when you take time off training, it's hard to get back into it, and you feel shitty getting back into it, and you have that time where you ache like hell, and then it kind of affects the type of training you can do going forward. So rather than a recovery week, so taking a week off, try having a deload week, but that's very much dependent on the type of training you're doing, the intensity you're working at, that kind of thing, okay? With regards to how much rest from training do you need in a week to remain most effective, that as well is the same answer as I just gave, really. It depends on yourself and the type of training you're doing, how hard you're working, how hard you're pushing yourself in the gym. Yeah, so it also depends on what type of training you're doing. If, for example, you're doing training with us, we tend to do like 3 sessions. No, we do 3 sessions a week, so that they'll have like either a day off in between 2 sessions, or they'll do 2 sessions, then a day off and another session, that kind of thing. So yeah, it depends how often you're training per week as well. If you're training 6 days a week, then you got a day's rest already. So yes, to remain most effective, it depends on what your goals are. If you want to have it most effective with regards to weight loss, then as long as you're creating calorie deficit and you're not feeling crappy before you start your workout, as in like you literally don't want to be there, then you're fine. Yeah. Okay, question number 4. If you happen to do a big calorie blowout in one evening, is it best to have an early night or to do some exercise of some sort that same evening? Let's keep it clean here. So if you go out on a night out, you're gonna blow a lot more calories there. Yes, you're gonna eat a lot more calories or drink a lot more calories. Would I recommend you come home and then exercise? No chance. If you go out and you have a nice relaxing meal, you have a nice day out or night out with your family, your friends, then no, don't come home and start training. Just enjoy it. If it's something that doesn't happen every other week, every other day, or it doesn't happen every week, then there's no need to worry about it at all. Like, you got to enjoy your life. You got to have balance to your life, and that one day won't knock you for 6 overall over the whole grand scheme of things. Yes, you might see an increase in your weight over the next couple of days, but it'll come back down because you're going to get back on top of things. You're going to be back into your proper nutrition regime. But on the flip side, if you wanted to do damage control, damage limitation, do you know you've got that coming up, like a night out or something, then you could reduce the amount of calories you eat in the days leading up to it. So like 3 days before, you just shave a few calories off your intake, or you do it afterwards, so after the night out. Or you can do it with exercise. You do a couple of sessions where you burn a few more extra calories to offset the amount of calories you're going to be intaking. But do I recommend you come home after a night out or a big calorie blowout and exercise? No, just enjoy it. Just relax and enjoy it. Question number 5, the final question. For office workers, this is a good one, okay? If you work in an office, if you're sedentary at work, this is a good question to listen to. If you work in an office and you spend your days sat at the desk typing and staring at a monitor with not many opportunities to walk anywhere, is there anything that people have purchased in order to introduce some sort of motion into the seemingly never-ending stationary and sedentary day? Whoa, you can tell that person loves their job, can't you? Okay. So yes, there are some things you can buy to introduce more motion, as they put it. You could always get an exercise ball and bounce away on that while sat at your desk. You might get a few strange looks from colleagues. You might need to speak to your boss. You can even see about like a standing desk. Get a standing desk instead of sitting down for it, because apparently it's been proven that you're more effective, you're more, you produce better quality work when you stood up working rather than sat down. You'll get more done. But yeah, there's a study on it. I'll try and find it. If I don't, who cares? If you want something that's less intrusive than an exercise ball, you can get these stations which have like pedals on them. So you put them under the desk, you sat there and you're pedaling away. Apart from the sweat dripping down your forehead, no one will really notice. They're not noisy or anything. So yes, I'll link that. I'll link one of these in a comment below or in this actual video post. They can introduce a lot more motion into your seemingly never-ending stationary and sedentary day. If, however, you can't do anything like that, then the best suggestion I've got, or suggestions, is park it a little bit further away from work and walk into work. Instead of taking the lift or the escalator, take the stairs if you have stairs. Walk on your lunch break, do a walk and eat. Get a few colleagues involved with it as well. Take your packed lunch in, have a chat with them whilst you're walking and eating your food. Yeah, just try and walk to the water cooler a bit more often, or the tap, or whatever you get your water from, the fridge. Yeah, do things that you knowingly know will increase your daily energy expenditure. Okay, so that was it. That is the 5th and final question in your very first 5-question Friday. If you've got any questions or anything that you'd like answered, guys, comment below, let me know. Or if you're a bit shy, you're like one of those, then message us and we will address it in the next 5-question Friday. That's it. I'll speak to you soon.